bridge to your imagination. There was an early rise to the trip to Boston Logan. It was smooth sailing to Miami. There were laughs and a candy stop for all. And then we were on to Managua, where the airport is small, but the people are friendly. They sell ice cream and water and things that were familiar to our eyes. The signs were in Spanish, but it was all pretty easy to figure out. We stepped outside and boarded a bus, pulled from the curb, and then we entered a different world. The ride to San Juan del Sur is filled with crowded streets, beeping horns, rows of metal roofs above thin-walled shacks that line the streets, thinner animals standing alongside. The bus seemed engulfed in a sea of small cars and trucks and bicycles and riders and walkers and cows, yet it kept creeping ahead. How could the bus possibly navigate this? A bicycle brushes the side of the bus and a pedestrian walks in front. A child inside claims, "I don't like this place." We continue, and as so the thickness abates, but not the shacks, nor the sad animals, nor the people riding slowly, or simply sitting, just sitting by the side of the road. Darkness comes, and now we seem to be driving into nowhere. It's a long ride. As a grown-up, have I lost my right to ask, are we there yet? How much longer? Maybe better, where are we going? We erupt with excitement when we see this sign, San Juan del Sur. San Juan del Sur at last. We have spent months and months and months and shots and forms and tickets and suitcases and meetings and supplies and granola bars readying for this moment. We are in San Juan del Sur. We see the Texaco sign, the famed Texaco of our dreams, the parking lot where all Nica journeyers of all time have met. We turn just right, just past it, and stop. David smiles. Here you are. Your homes are just there, he points. Here? Homes? Ours? The word home doesn't align with what I'm taking in. There's cement walls and gates and dogs and gravel and cars are pushed up against what I come to learn is the front door. We pour into our respective homestays and are quickly oriented into our new lives. In a blur, each parent and child are deposited into a room. In my stay, it was first Joni and Katie, then Vicky and Nikki and Benita, and Emma and I follow further into the home. It's nearly too much to take in. I'm shown light switches that are haphazardly nailed to a post, a door that opens to a toilet, another door that opens to a shower, a sink in the middle of the house. These are all yours, the man says. Then I'm led to a windowless room with a path nearly too small to navigate between the two beds. There's a fan. It's turned on to show how nicely it works. We're given keys to our rooms and to the gates, and shown how, with just a little pull or a tug, just so, we can open the door between the porch and the home. We go into our rooms, and I try to find a place for our two suitcases. Can I sleep with one on my bed? I wash my face amidst the family bubble in my public sink. Who all is in this family? And then I'm afraid to use the common towel. We have arrived. Saturday morning, we're up early, and an elder is rocking in the chair just outside my room. A few young men walk through. Breakfast of fruit and egg is brought by 2 or 3 friendly women. Are they the same ones as last night? Who lives in this home? We head to the Texaco lot to meet. Our first schedule change right away. Baseball supply drop before visiting the site. Who has the uniforms? We stop by the site, but nothing's been dropped off just yet. We may have to wait. The welder. Has anyone seen the welder? We look around. The school site is empty because it's Saturday, so there's nothing we can do but look and take it in. Words come to mind. Broken, small, disrepair, dusty, a smell that we learn is the latrine. There is so little, but so much to take in. We stop by the factory, but there are no materials for our work there just yet either, so we have to take a little more in. We feel invited in, but we're separate. We're helpers, but we're overwhelmed, eager, but worried. There is so much to do. Our work starts in earnest Monday morning. So is that when it started? Maybe it began when I sat side by side, silently bending wires to create forms for a cement form, quietly working next to Yarosley, our student. She says, "Little Spanish?" I say, "Sí, little," and we continue. Or maybe it began when the local women, strong women, showed us how to strip wood with machetes. Or maybe it was when the driver helped us figure out how to load wood and get it to our site. Was it when the children spilled out of the school for recess, and those words we had from before, broken, small, dusty, smelly, fell away from our minds? They were replaced with new words: joy, play, smiles, curiosity, contentment. Indeed, contentment. Not one moment of complaint. From school to school, in the mobile book library, or the sites that we visited, or our own school, we did not hear one complaint. Instead, when a new soccer ball was thrown into a group for recess, they all just laughed and began a game. Books were sorted and shared. Crafts morphed into animal shapes as we helped preschoolers with their very few glue sticks. Did it start when the girl asked me to take her picture on my phone? She looked at me with just one look, those amazing eyes. She just smiled. I took the picture. She was bright and calm. She looked at it. She regarded it and walked away. Another came and asked, and then another. They were all captured for just a moment, regarded, and then saved in my phone, in my file. Or maybe it was the moment when they saw the repaired swing, and we heard a murmur of wow as they raced to it, and then they took turns. Nice, long, slow turns with the zeal of each first ride. So when did it become our school, our friends, our homes? When did the foreign begin to feel familiar, so familiar that we were a part of it? When did the driver become Fernando, who joked with the kids and jumped happily for music selections when we bumped in our bus down the road? When did our families become Cecilia, Lucia, Carlos, Alex? When was it the place we looked forward to return to play games, to eat with them, to share smiles, and to reach beyond our language barriers? When did we feel that we lived in these homes? Was it when Cecilia held both of my hands and looked into my eyes and repeated over and over again, "Mi casa, su casa, mi casa, su casa"? And when did it happen that that small room with such a narrow path between the beds and no windows, just one fan, would be a hard place to leave? We came to Nicaragua with lots of things. The money you so generously donated, the supplies, the shoes, the gifts, the clothes, gifts for ancianos, books, erasers, pencils, granola bars, all in suitcases and suitcases and more suitcases. We left, however, with far more than we ever had when we arrived. When did those things transform? When did the distinctions between them and us get blurred? When did working with, playing with, being with, or seeing, simply just seeing alongside as they were seeing, when did it all become part of us? When did working with our hands change our hands? So that now when I plant my pansies, or wash the dishes, or toss a soccer ball to my daughter, it's just not the same anymore. Stacy asked us before we began, was there anything unique to this trip being a church trip? I'm not really sure we knew. Later, during Lent, Stacy mentioned that in the life of Christ we see God on earth, embodied. It's the Spirit in a body, working with hands, human form, transformation. I have to say, for all my Lutheran education, I'd never really gotten that before. Human form, transformed, transformation. She asked if it mattered, and I get it now. It did matter. I thank you all for the support that you gave us to go to this church and for the years and years of support you have given to help transform those in Nicaragua, to help transform the travelers that have gone, and for the transformation that I hope happens to you all as a result of our service in Nicaragua. Thank you very much.